Hey everybody, Jimmy Eats here again. Hey, thanks for tuning into my channel. I want to start off with saying Happy Memorial Day, everybody. This episode is actually a shout out to everybody in uniform, especially our U.S. military. We have a friend, Tony Jungers, who's deployed in the Navy, and we're going to do a care package. In the care package, I'm going to make some homemade beef jerky. My recipe, my favorite recipe. How I do it. So I hope he enjoys it. We're going to put some things together other than the jerky to send to him that we know he likes, and we're going to let him know that we're thinking of him. So this episode is going to be about my beef jerky. It's going to be exciting. If you stick with me, I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Alright everybody, I have a roast here from my local butcher shop, and it is a beef sirloin tip. I had them slice it for me for my beef jerky, and also it is approximately 8 pounds, and it was about $27.50. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up in a minute and show you how I got it going, how I had it sliced, and how I'm gonna season the jerky. What I'm gonna season it with is this jerky cured seasoning. It is called High Mountain. I found this to be my favorite one. It's the original blend. I've been using this kind for quite a few years. I have had nothing but good luck with this. Okay, so inside the package I have the directions on how to mix your seasonings, and inside there are two different pieces. I folded it up so I can see this side. This is actually the side for the it says whole ground meat jerky snack sticks. It's for the jerky sticks, but I like this recipe for the jerky better than the one that shows for the jerky. It's actually a little heavier. It seems to work better. So I always use the sticks recipe for my jerky. I know it sounds silly, but it works good for me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up this package and see what we got inside here. I mean, I know what we got inside here because I bought it, but let's everybody see what it is. It is some wonderful meat. That's what I got here. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my rubber gloves to keep things clean. Put it on here so we can see what we're doing. So the butcher that I had today cut my slices really super big, which I guess is fine, because what I'll end up doing is trimming it after it sets for a couple days. Trim it up and make it skinnier and littler pieces, because that to me is really big, but we'll go with that to start. I have it about, I don't know if you can see good, it's just a little bit under a 1/4 inch thick. By the time you dehydrate it and get all the air, all the liquid out of there, it will be a lot skinnier, and it shrinks up quite a bit. You actually lose nearly half of your weight when you do jerky. So if I got 8 pounds of meat, by the time I get done, I'll be lucky to have 4 pounds of jerky. So that's just something to keep in mind when you make beef jerky. But if you go buy a pound of jerky at the store, you're looking at all at $20 a pound. So the seasoning I just bought was $10 for that box of High Mountain, and $27.50 for the meat. So we're looking at $37.50 for not quite, well, maybe about 4 pounds of jerky when it's all said and done. So I'm actually saving half the price pretty much doing it myself, and it's made the way I like it. So to get started, what I'm going to do, I'll lay some out, and then I'm going to sprinkle some of this on top. I've got it all mixed in here real good. I got to try to contribute enough of this on each piece to make it all equal. But what I do normally to get started is take the first piece like that, and then I flip it over. That way I got both sides, you know, seasoned pretty well. And then now season this side. okay? Pretty generously, because I got a lot of seasoning in there. It's about almost half full, not quite. Okay, and then I take my next slice of meat and pull it off of here. And what I do is lay it right on top, because that seasoning will set on top of each other, and it will definitely absorb inside the meat real well. That's why you put it on fairly thick, to kind of, and then every day you kind of stir it up and move it around a little bit to kind of move it and make it get to places that it's not sitting at all the time. I'll do that for approximately 3 days. So this here is actually the longest process of the whole thing, of this part anyway. The next long process is going to be trimming up the meat and making them the size I want, and then spreading them out onto the dehydrator. Alright, so I got the whole roast up here. I've layered it. I've sprinkled some of the seasoning on every piece. I have a little bit left over and I need to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of fold it over and keep adding some just randomly. Just that way I know I've used all the seasoning. By the time I get it all mixed up and stirred up for a couple days, it will even out real well. This happens a lot. It's really hard to judge exactly how much to put on each piece, so you just kind of go with the flow. I just keep doing it this way. See, it sets in. It's got to cure. This meat will be cured and seasoned perfectly in about 72 hours. Is perfect for me. Package only says 24, but I found it to be bland if you don't go longer. So it's just a good idea, in my opinion. That's how I do it, though. I mean, everybody's different. Been doing this for quite a long time, and it's turned out really well for me when I do it this way. So I'm just gonna keep doing it how I like it. I know if my kids find it, it's gone in no time. Okay, I've used my whole shaker up. I got it on here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out of this. I'm going to set it inside some Ziploc bags, take the air out of it, press it down, and then put it in the refrigerator that way. And like I said, it might be in a couple bags. And like I said, every day or so, I'm going to take it out, open it up, kind of swish it around, fold it around, move it a little bit. Okay. So I've got 3 bags separated about like this. I put them in there about this thick. The other 2 are a little thicker. But we got a little bit of room to move things around when it's time to move it. If you fill that bag so full you can barely zip it up, it's hard to move it around. So you got to give it a little bit of space to do that. So I'm going to try and press as much air out of this as I can. Then I'm going to go ahead and seal it up. And then, after I get it all sealed up and all the air out the best I can, it don't have to be perfect. It'll be fine. I like to write on the bag what day I did this and approximately what time. All right, everybody. Here we are. I got everything setting out. My dehydrator here. 1 bag of the jerky that I seasoned just the other day on video for you a few days back, about 3 days ago as a matter of fact. Next process is to take it out of the package. The slices are really big. If you don't remember, I'll show you. So here's 1 piece, and then of course you take the knife and you lay it out flat, however you like. You just make the size that you want them. I mean, I don't like them real big because then you eat it fast. So just gonna kind of do good bite-size pieces. I seem to get more life out of them. But strips like this, that's a perfect piece of jerky for me. Nice and thin, fairly thick. It'll dehydrate and be thinner by the time I get done. But that's 1 good chunk of jerky, you know, along with a lot of these other ones that are basically the same. same size. So slice them up, put them on this dehydrator, And then it takes about 4.5 hours to dehydrate it the way I like it. Okay, so I got as much of that jerky sliced up as I could get. I still have one full Ziploc bag that I couldn't get to fit on here. These are the trays they go on. I'm not gonna pull them all the way out because it'll fall. But this is what probably 6 pounds of jerky looks like inside this dehydrator. So I'll put them all back in. This is a LEM dehydrator. Pretty good brand, kind of an expensive dehydrator. Of course, it's all digital. I turn it on, I can set my temperature where I want, and I like to go to about 150 degrees on this dial. And then I'm gonna go for 2 hours, and I'm gonna let it run. But after 2 hours, I'm going to come in, I'm gonna rotate it around and turn it, and then do it again for another 2 hours. Okay, so we got 2 hours behind us now. The first 2 hours. Let's take a look at it, just kind of show you what it looks like. You know, it's a little soft, quite soft. It's gonna definitely take a while. It takes about 4 hours or so. And what I do at this point is I take them out, I do a 180 with the rack, just like this, and I put it back in. And I do that with all 5 racks. That way I know that it's distributing the heat pretty much evenly all the way around. The heat element on this dehydrator is in the very back here. So it pushes the heat this way. The other ones from Walmart or whatnot, they come from the bottom and go up. So you got to rotate the top one to the bottom quite often. This one, in my opinion, is a little bit better. You don't have to rotate it as often. I usually just have to rotate it one time and take a look. And this end right here is the hotter end, and it's a lot stiffer. I mean, it's still got some softness to it, but these ones down here are real soft. So that's why I gotta flip it once. See, you really gotta try to set these on here so they don't touch. Okay, so it's already set at 2 hours. Everything's to go, so hit it again. In 2 hours we wait. Okay, so we've got the second 2 hour over with. Let's take a look at the jerky. This is the top rack. Now this is the consistency I like. Still a little bit bendy, but crispy. Listen to it break. How it breaks off. Breaks off kind of nice like that. Very good. Perfect consistency. This is how I like my jerky. Okay, so out of all 5 racks, I have this many pieces that I think are still not quite the consistency that I like. So I'm gonna let them go a little bit longer. So I'm gonna lay them back on a new rack here, or on the rack, and then I'm gonna put them in the middle slot on the bottom here and try to get that to distribute fairly evenly. Really not too bad. There's a few pieces on there, but basically one rack. I have to go a little longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in the bottom, in the middle, right in the middle slot. Put the lid back on. And I'm gonna go for, let's do 40 minutes. Same temperature, let it roll. So got a couple little tester pieces out here that I picked out that were sitting there, basically the little ones in there. So these are really good. This is perfectly how I like it. A little chewy but yet soft. It's gonna be really good. So I hope my friend Tony really likes these. Anything to brighten his day up. So we'll give this 40 more minutes and we'll take another look here in just a little bit. Alright, so my 40 minutes is done on the third session, basically. Let's take a look at this rack of meat. It's pretty good. That's a good consistency. I don't know if you can see it good, but see how it splinters and kind of, it looks drier. That's how jerky's supposed to look to me. So, with that being said, I think this is done. I'm going to vacuum seal about 1.5 pounds of it for my friend Tony overseas. We're going to send it to him for a care package. So, this is how I do my jerky. You guys tell me what you think. If you guys got a different idea, by all means, let me know. I'm up for all kinds of ideas. Give me some likes, by all means. Give me your info on what y'all think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm always looking for more people to check out what I'm doing. Here is the bag. I don't know, I think it was about 6 pounds. I still got some I never was able to fit in here. This is probably a good 3 pounds or so. Pretty good chunk of jerky though. About $60 worth in the store. So that's how I do my beef jerky. I love it. I've never had anybody complain about it. I've had a lot of people compliment me on my jerky. So tell you what, like I said, throw me some comments, tell me what you think. And with that being said, I'm Jimmy Eats. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go have a piece. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. Thank you.